Hi, Sonia here with Just Botanicals. Thank you for watching this video. Today I want to talk to you about how to keep things clean in an artisan skincare lab, or in my case, a bespoke skin bar and apothecary. I think this is a really relevant topic. I think that a lot of people are hesitant to try handcrafted skincare or fresh skincare because they think it might be unsafe, or that they might get some sort of an infection or be exposed to bacteria, which is a realistic concern. That's part of the deal, right? So when we're taking fresh ingredients that are just yummy and nutritious, stuff you can pretty much eat, right? Potentially edible. Not only do our skin love those things, but so do bacteria. And so it makes sense, I think, in a lot of ways that, handcrafted skincare has been, or possibly could be produced or manufactured in a way that could cause a safety concern. And so what I'm here to talk to you about is how to prevent that. It is possible. And if I'm going to make skincare at home, right, if I'm going to make skincare to sell, absolutely, I want to make sure that I'm giving people something that's fresh. But even if I'm at home, if I want something that doesn't grow bugs or has the least amount of bacteria exposed to it, so it lasts longer, right? These are all things to think about. No one wants to put germs on their face. And so I will kind of go ahead and so we've talked a little bit about the issue and why we want to keep things clean. And I'm going to share with you kind of the steps involved to make sure that happens. And we're going to talk about the three forms of cleanliness, right? So the first step is sanitation. That is basic. That's like soapy water, and that is going to decrease the amount of living organisms and microbes. And ideally you do that with hot water, hot soapy water. You wash your hands, right? That's decreasing the amount of possible microbes that are on your hand. It's not perfect though. That's what we're going to look at when we look at disinfecting and sterilization. So sanitation is washing hands, wiping down surfaces, wearing gloves. I'm going to put gloves on when I do this. Right, when I make any sort of handcrafted skincare, I am going to put on gloves. And all these things are going to decrease exposure or reduce exposure to microbes and bacteria. That is sanitation. Now, the next stage is disinfection or disinfecting. That is killing off everything except for the spores. So it's not a complete reduction in microorganisms, but it is all that is necessary. It is, I shouldn't say all, it is what is necessary to create a clean working environment, or a cooking environment, for example, like a place where, raw food cooking environment, right? Because cooking and heating things will kill things. So that's a different level of sterilization. But disinfecting is removing, pretty much killing almost everything. And it is the safe level of cleanliness that you would want to have in an artisan skincare lab. So I will discuss a little bit more about disinfection. I have notes up here on the board. But before I show you what I'm going to do as far as disinfection, what I do in the Artisan Skincare Lab and in this retail space and Bespoke Skin Bar and Apothecary, I'm going to show you that, what we do for disinfection. I'll talk a little bit about sterilization. That is the ultimate level. That kills all spores of bacteria and fungi. That is what is required in a hospital, for example, in an emergency room, right? So where you have to have absolutely no exposure because it could be a life-threatening problem if you are exposed. So, and sterilization is a little bit more difficult and requires intensive heat, like an autoclave. And eventually I would want to do something like that, but it is not required to make sure that the skincare is clean when you get it. And then I also want to talk a little bit about preservation. So preservation is important in the sense that over time, your products will be exposed at some point. So getting them into this bottle clean is one thing, but then after that, how do you keep it clean? And that's where preservation comes in. That's actually a whole other video. So we'll talk about that another time. Because I use fresh handcrafted stuff and I keep them small with the idea that we use as little preservation as possible, and just all good ingredients. But there is a great value to preservation, and I am learning about natural preservatives to start incorporating those more into my products, especially as the ones that are designed to leave the area. But when we have a fresh skincare bar, we're kind of, that's one other way to prevent having to use preservatives. Making stuff yourself is the best, but you still want to keep it clean, right? To prevent exposure. Okay, so let's talk about disinfecting. One other thing, when you use skincare that doesn't have preservatives, like my luxury cream and my cream cleanser, rich cream cleanser, you don't want to put your fingers into that, because now an oil-based product like that, in and of itself, will not grow bacteria. In and of itself, bacteria cannot thrive in it because there's no oxygen. So, but what it can do if you put your fingers on the cream is it can live on top of it, right? Because the oxygen's up in the air, and then it's eating all that good stuff that's in your skincare products. So use your fingers instead of a spatula, for example, or a spritzer for some of my other products that are in bottles. If you use your fingers, what you're doing is you're basically taking some of the bacteria and reapplying that to your face. So you want to use a spatula. All right, back to disinfecting. Okay, so first thing, so we already did basic sanitation. Keep things clean, vacuum, wear gloves, wash hands, keep surfaces clean. I'm also going to have in the skin bar, I will have an air purifier as well, which is going to pull allergens out of the air, so that's going to help. Then you want to, for disinfection though, you want to use a couple things. Ethanol is great. It is more natural. And so I'm in the process of looking for that. But for now, I have isopropyl alcohol, right? And I have a nice muslin cloth, and I will wipe down my surfaces with this. I will also wipe down all of my equipment as well with the isopropyl alcohol. My instruments, right, I'm going to do something different with. For bottles, you don't really need to wipe them out because they come to you sterilized already. So I just need to use gloves when I'm pulling them from the packaging. Beakers. Beakers are something I use a lot of, right? Glass is awesome for what I'm doing. And I will be using the isopropyl alcohol to clean those out and disinfect those. So this isopropyl alcohol is the step that you need for the disinfecting. And the idea is to disinfect right before use, right? And that way I'm making sure that anything that might have been in the air, that it might have been exposed to, is clean. I have my little scale, just stainless steel surface. And then at home in my lab, I have a stainless steel surface as well. But I also have an area that only I go into, so it's controlled. This is a non-controlled environment to an extent because it's in a public spot. Okay. Once all my utensils and equipment, and if I had a jar, I would spray that out. Beakers, all the stuff I'm going to use is disinfected. Utensils is not the right size pot. But what I would do is I would get a pot with boiling water and let my utensils, glass rod, stainless steel utensils, boil for 3 minutes. And that will disinfect them. and have them ready to be used. So that's basic disinfection 101. And those are the things that I'm going to do. And so in this lab, or because this is going to be a skincare bar, how I'm going to do this is I'm going to actually do this 2 order per person. And I'll have a stainless steel around like a wood block with stainless steel on it that I'll pull out. I'll disinfect everything per order, and I will also have some bins back here with hot water and natural soap, and a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and a rinse. So I'll have a system in place that will allow me to keep this space disinfected and a nice safe place to make skincare for you. And I was going to go ahead and make some skincare right in this bottle, but I think we're good. I think that this video has already gone for a while, so I don't see the time, but thank you for joining. And if you aren't already on my mailing list, send me your email. Send me an email to justbotanicals.soniam@gmail.com. That's justbotanicals.sonyam@gmail.com. Check out the website if you're not already there. That's www.justbotanicalsak.com. You can follow me on Instagram at just.botanicals or on Facebook at Just Botanicals. Or come see me here at this Bespoke Skin Bar and Apothecary with Skin Bar Socials workshops as well, at 247 South Alaska Street in Palmer, Alaska. And my hours are going to be 10 to 4 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 10 to 6 on Wednesday, and 1 to 4 on most Saturdays. But you do need to stay tuned to my calendar because there will be some times that I actually need to go, because I like to source my ingredients ethically, and the place I like to go to, Mountain Rose Herbs, does not ship essential oils to Alaska. And shipping here is outrageous. So my goal is to, on a monthly basis, on a regular basis, make sure I get out of town and go get the products, ingredients that I need to bring them back here to save on shipping, which then I can provide that savings on to my customers. And I can make sure I go to the vendors that are historically notorious for following free trade practices and sourcing their ingredients and their items that they sell from the most ethically conscious locations or processes, right, if you will. That'll be another topic. All right, thanks for joining. Have a great day and stay in touch.